Welcome back to Who Won Life Sentence. Thank y'all for tapping in. Please hit the like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I read them all. Most of the time I respond to some of that craziness y'all got going on, but either way it go, thank y'all. Most of the time I get on here, man, I love to get on here with that gangster stuff, right? But sometimes I get on here with the funny stuff. You know what I mean? Sometimes it ain't even meant to be funny. But this one, I'm gonna be honest, man. I ain't sharing none of this one right here because, really because of immaturity. And even right now, it's still a whole lot of immaturity associated with me with it, right? So, like, I didn't actually talk myself out of telling y'all about this stuff at least 5 or 6 times. So, so keep in mind, man, we growing up together. I'm still 40 years old. We growing up together, right? I want to say, I want to say, to my fellas, man, understand something. There's a term out there that means, this is a sidebar. This is completely unrelated. There's a term out there that says, nice guys finish last. And what that means is just be careful, young man. Just be careful. That's what I want to say. Understand that takers don't really have a limit on taking. You see what I'm saying? Um they're not going to gauge, it's not really their concern about what what they're taking from, just as long as they get what they need. So understand something. Like I said, nice guys always finish last, man. Sometimes you gotta be an asshole. You know what I mean? But anyway, let me get into this story. So I'm in prison, man. As y'all can see, I got as I'm in prison, by the time I get to this prison, Rivers, I done already did a whole bunch of years. I got the dogs tattooed on me, right? So I had it got the helm here, but this was a Rottweiler, and this was another dog. You know what I mean? I ain't going to that. Y'all got me joke, you know what I mean? And then I got like a dog tattooed on my back, right? So it's fair to say I was pretty infatuated with the dogs. And even when I had got locked up, I got locked up at 14, so I had never really owned my own dog. And I knew that when I got out, it was gonna be one of the things that I got and took seriously, some dogs, right? So I would love to have dog conversations. I love to have any kind of conversations because, like I said, it used to excite me how people used to live out there, especially the people coming in fresh from the street. I used to love to hear about their stories, about their girls, about the escapades, about anything they had going on. Because essentially, this is all I knew up to this point. As I'm in prison. So I remember I got cool with this guy named Cody. Cody came in and Cody didn't have but maybe like a year and a half or something petty. He had already done most of the time. He was just finishing out the rest of the little time. We at a medium security prison. We in Rivers down in Milledgeville. I like Cody because Cody is a straight country dude, straight country, right? When I say straight country, I mean from the accent. He was from somewhere like Moultrie or somewhere like real down south or a small town. I can't remember exactly where, uh, but it was something like that. So all now Cody was about he had to be he had to be early 40s, right? He had to be early 40s then. I'm about we're gonna say I'm 2021. So Cody was early 40s then. Um, Cody used to always talk about, I never seen Cody upset. He was always in a good mood. But Cody would always talk about three things. He would talk about his Mustang, he would talk about his pit bulls, and he would talk about his women. Like I said, they do it a little different down south. So Cody had a wife, and he used to. Cody had a wife, and he had a child with his wife's um niece, right? So he got a wife, and his wife niece always coming around, and I think there was an age gap, but his wife niece always coming around. Cody done stuck her, and now he got a baby with his wife niece, but ain't no problems. Niece still come over every day, bring Cody kid. They like one family. There's no fighting, and I would always get confused because we'd be talking, he'd be saying something, and he'd be like he might just be talking like if they call his name for visit or something, he'd be like, white boy, let me get some cologne or something. I'm finna go see my wife. So if he come back from visitation, I'd be like, how your kid doing? And he might be like, no, that one my wife came, that one my baby mama. And I'd be confused a lot of times, right? He'll always have to remind me, like, no, that's my baby mama, that's my wife. So that's first of all about Cody. He was country. Like I said, this is and it was like it was no secret about what had been going on. I don't think it was no blow up or nothing, right? He was doing this thing. Sometimes his wife comes see him. Sometimes his baby mama comes see him with the baby. Cody was infatuated with racing. I remember a couple of times Cody. So he used to all like I said, he would talk about his wife and he talked about his baby mama. He used to say how his son was like a couple of months old, maybe 11, 12 months old, and was a freak. Said because see, I would get confused because I remember one time he was like, yeah, man, my son, he can't even walk. He crawling on the floor. He freak like his daddy. He crawling on the floor. He crawl right up to my wife's feet and try to put him in his mouth. And I'd be, even though it's a baby, I'd be saying like, that's his mama. That's kind of weird. You know what I mean? That you would, and I'd have to think like, and he'll remind me like, no, that's not his mama. That ain't his mama. You know what I mean? That's my wife. That's not his mama. I'd be like, okay, cool, I get it. So Cody will always talk about Cody was always talking about racing. He was infatuated with racing. He had a Mustang that he used to talk about, and he had a Mustang that he used to race like down in the country on the dirt roads, and he had a motorcycle that he used to race. He would talk about how he got the Zuki 1000. He called it a Zook. So he said he got the Zook 1000. He talked about how this Suzuki was perfect. It was like a Suzuki 1000 would beat a Suzuki 1300 or Suzuki anything because the 1000 could be extended and it wouldn't pop off. He'd be saying as soon as I hit the gas, I pop, pop, pop. He'd be doing that and saying like the machine would be jumping up off the ground. But I'm telling you, when I get over there and talking to Cody, he could talk for hours about this stuff. So he would talk about racing his motorcycle. He bust everything. If it wasn't a Suzuki, he wouldn't race it. Then even the higher Suzukis, he beat them. He talked about his Mustang. He's told me how he even taught his baby mama how to drive the Mustang. He had her racing people. So he know how to, he hit the gears on the Mustang, it'll fishtail, and he know how to keep it in line and get it on down, right? All Cody talk about is racing. Um, I see one day, I see one day because all he talk about is racing. I'm looking on the yard or I'm on the yard. I see Cody lining up. This man about 40, 41 years old. I see Cody lining up with one of the young dudes in our dorm. And I know this just come from all the talk about racing and fast and this and that. I'm talking about, man, Cody done borrowed somebody's shoes, done lined up with the guy. They holler, go, and Cody gone. You know what I mean? I'm talking about running. And he smoked him. So this just he was full of energy, likable, real likable guy. I like Cody, right? I go talk to him for hours. If you had anything and needed it, he give it to you. Or even if you were just talking to him before you leave, he'd be like, "You need something? You need something for tonight? You straight? Nah, I'm good, Cody." So another one of his things was his pit bulls. Cody would always talk about, like I said, I got the dogs on my chest, so he know I like the dogs. Cody would always talk about the pit bulls. he would tell me how he had a puppy. He said this puppy was only about 5 or 6 months old. He told me how dangerous the puppy was. He said he had the puppy chained to a tree, and I'm gonna be honest. Like when I used to talk to him, sometime I used to think he would be exaggerating or what's the word, fabricating, lying. You know what I mean? So he said he would have the puppy chained to the tree. He would go to calling that bloodline. Yeah, man, she Gator Mob Jeep got it. You know what I mean? He go to he said he had the puppy chained to the tree. The puppy ate through the tree. He said by the time he came home in one day, he said tree about this big around, tree about this big around. So he had came home and the puppy done ate through about 65, 70% of the tree trying to get it off. So he said this how dangerous this dog was with the teeth in the mouth. So he done came home. He said, he done been at work before, and his baby mama or his wife done called him like, hey, the puppy, done got loose and they in the backyard fighting. He said he have to get in their Mustang, and so he'd be hauling, 20 minutes to the house. He'd get to the house in 8 or 9 minutes. He said, it was like at least he said one time, same thing. He at work, he get a call about the puppy at home, puppy at home raising hell. He said he get in the Mustang, he flying down right to the house. He get pulled over. When he get pulled over, he tell the officer, small town, everybody know each other. The officer know him. He like, man, that puppy at home, they killing each other. He said the police jump in front of him, behind him, they escort him all the way home. Everybody flying. He said he get home, he saved the puppy. He said that happened 2 or 3 times. It happened to the point where when they come see him flying on the highway, they don't even pull him over. They just get in front of him, help him get to the house, break the puppies up or whatever. This how small the community is or whatever. So one day we in the dorm, we chilling, and we talking about dogs or whatever. And we just talking, and we talking about the dogs, and I don't know, I don't forget what I'm saying, but Cody said, you ever jacked him off? He's sitting on the bed, and I'm like standing in the cut. It's hard to explain, but like I'm standing in the cut. He's sitting in the cut close to the wall, and I'm like, may have my hands on the top bunk. So now he caught me completely off guard because first of all, I'm in a chain gang mind frame. You don't say this kind of stuff to people in prison. You know what I mean? But I also know that Cody is not disrespectful, and we like friends. He would never. Not only is he not disrespectful just to anybody, but we okay. He wouldn't disrespect me anyway if he wanted to be disrespectful. And I don't know, tough guy. Cody, good dude. So I know he. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what'd you say? He like, you ain't never jacked him off. I'm like, oh, who my dog? He was like, yeah, you ain't never jack your dog off. I'm like, again, I can't, he ain't laughing, so I can't gauge if he playing or not. So when I don't answer the question, he like, oh, you ain't like, he got kind of like the old man. He like, oh, you ain't never jacked him off. You ain't no real dog, man. I'm like, Cody, what you talking about? He like, see, I know. You ain't know. I said, you done jacked your dog off? He like, yeah. So now I'm like, Cody, this, I ain't had these kind of experiences with dogs. I just like dogs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why would you? He like, man, you got, I would imagine he went to explaining stuff to me, but I think from my reactions, we shut that conversation down because I don't remember much about him. I would have, because like I remember the question, I remember my reaction, but I don't remember him explaining the full process to me, like pulling the dog, doing the AI, and I didn't even know that he meant just like getting them pregnant. I didn't know what he was talking about, right? So we shut the conversation down. He like, man, you ain't no, I can tell you ain't no real dog. You ain't never jacked your dog off. You ain't no real dog, man. I'm like, all right, cool. Like we kind of left it at that. Boom. Cody ain't have much time. I go on with my life. So that is Cody. I wanted to introduce you guys to Cody. You know what I mean? So, well, I've been doing my dog thing for some years now. I mean, it's to the point where I'm on my fourth or fifth generation. I really have to go back and look. I might be even deeper than that, or I may even be deeper than that. But I'm a few generations in, and what happens is, so every time I've ever bred my dogs, what I do is, so I'm gonna try to explain it as best as I can. When a dog comes in heat, it's almost like a menstrual cycle for a dog. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's a menstrual cycle for a dog. But when that dog comes in heat, that is the only time that she will accept a breeding or accept sperm into her eggs or whatever. So when the dog comes in heat, that's the time to breed the dogs. Boy dogs are ready all the time. Girls only breed when they come in heat. You'll know that because they start bleeding. So I do my dogs, I breed my dogs, and every time my dog comes in heat, I have to take my dog over to my homeboy. When I take my dog over to my homeboy, he performs a whole AI session, which is um, he pulled my boy dog. That would be collecting the semen from him, and then he take that semen and inject it into my female dog. That would be the artificial insemination. I do this every time. So when she comes in heat, every time every time you do this procedure, it costs $100. So when my dog come in heat, we just gonna say my girl dog come in heat. When my girl dog come in heat, what I'm trying to do is when it gets expensive because you also have to take a progesterone test. A progesterone test is just it's a test, it's a blood test letting you know the best time to put the semen in because the eggs are fertile. So a progesterone test is about $80 at the vet office, but if you know somebody, I know people who have progesterone machines. They charge me. One guy charged me $50. One guy charged me $60. So I go back to the beginning. When this dog come in heat, first thing I gotta do is gotta go pay about 50, $60 for a progesterone test, right? We're gonna say I take the progesterone test and she at a 10. We can't breed her until she get around anywhere from 15 to 18 and beyond. So if I do a progesterone test and she's at a 10, I gotta wait a few days, go back and do another progesterone test to see if she's at 15 at least yet. So that's $50, another $50. If I come again and she hasn't, reached that point, I gotta wait a couple days. So that can add up. Now we just gonna say I get it right. The dog come in heat. I do a progesterone test, $50. She's ready to breed. I get my man to collect semen, insert it with the dog. That's another $100. So I'm up $150. That's one visit. If this dog is in heat, then I'm going to do at least 3 visits. So again, dog come in heat. When I get ready to go and do what I need to do with the dog, it's gonna cost me at least $150. I need a progesterone test. I need an AI. I'm gonna wait about a day. On the third day, I'm gonna go and do the exact same thing again. We up to about $300. On the third time, I don't really need a progesterone test. I just do the AI, so it's about $400. So one breeding, we can say one breeding could easily cost about $400. Going the simplest way, the easiest way. I go to my homeboy and I tell him I need an AI. He like, cool. we in there, and we doing the AI, and we've done this plenty times before with different dogs, different breeds of dogs. And this time, my boy, I be trying to watch what I say. I be trying to watch what I say, right? And again, keep it in mind, this is my immaturity talking. So my boy say we talking because what happens is you have a lot of in between time. In order to take a progesterone test, you go in and you stick the dog and you pull the blood from the dog. Then you take that blood and put it on the progesterone machine. The machine needs about anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to give you a good reading. So we got 15, 20 minutes of just sitting around doing nothing, just talking. Because if she ready, we can breed. If she not ready, I go back and come back I leave and come back a couple of days later. When she good and she ready to do the breathing, cool. My boy go in, he put on his gloves, do everything he need to do, and he go to collecting the boy semen. So when you go to collecting the boy semen, you got to kind of pause there for a minute and let him empty his sack. Respectfully, right? So as that's going on, he's letting his male empty his sack, and out of nowhere, he just tell me, he like, huh, grab right here. And this throw me off because in my mind, like when I pay for a service, that's what I'm doing. I'm a team player and everything, but the reason I'm paying is because I just want you to do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, long story short, I just want you to do it. So he like, man, I can go and do something else. Just hold right here real quick. I get the cussing them out in my mind, but I don't really want to. I see. It's hard for me to hide stuff. If I don't like something you said or I ain't feeling you right now, it's hard for me to hide that. You gonna know I'm not pleased with you right now just through my facial. You know what I mean? So he like, huh? Grab this real here, hold this right here for a minute. So I'm like, grab this. This ain't what I come for. But the breeding is for me. So I need to do anything that I can to help this out. You know what I mean? So for me it's like a fear factor. I muscle up. I'm like, you know what I mean? I ain't looking. I grown down there. I grab what he want me to grab, and he like, all right, just hold it right there. And I'm holding it, and as I'm holding, I'm feeling the throbbing. You know what I'm saying? And again, I know this is for my benefit. So, but when I feel the throbbing, I won't let it go. You know what I mean? And my boy walk off and go somewhere else and do what he need to do. Let me hear about 5, 6, 7 minutes. Dog keep trying to walk off, and I got to keep him from going anywhere. And I know I'm sitting there with the ugly look on my face like that, right? Boom, I get through that because it was a successful breeding. I ended up getting puppies out of it. It wasn't so bad. You know what I mean? But again, it's just not what I had in mind when I called you. Put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So boom. I go home. I need to do another breeding about a year later. I got some, you know what I mean? I go see my boy. Oh, my battery dead. I go see my boy. When I go see my boy, same thing. We having a pretty good session. We having a pretty good session, and he ended up doing the same thing to me, man. And I'm gonna be honest, I felt like, you know, no, that wasn't even what happened before that is I went over there, I needed a breeding, and as we waiting on the progesterone test to let us know exactly what's going on with the dog. He telling me about other breeders he done with, without his, and I'm listening, and my boy say, he talking about collecting the dog, and I don't know if he was telling me that I need to be doing it myself or something, or I think he was saying how easy it was or whatever. I can't remember, but as he telling me about collecting the dog, he like, we talking about studs, good studs and bad studs. That's one thing I forgot to mention earlier. Whenever I'm doing a dog breeding, so when the dog comes in heat, what I'm gonna do is, like, the two dogs that I want to get together, I'm gonna already keep them together. Just naturally, I'm gonna let them do their thing together. But when I also do the AIs to be sure. Like right now, they would be, if I had a dog in heat, they would be out in the yard, just on their own time. If they handle business, then they handle business. Even if they don't, then they don't. But for me, it's like it's double the opportunity. I'm letting it try to happen naturally, and I'm not gonna take the chance. I'm gonna pull the semen from him and put it in her manually. So for me, it's like I'm trying to let it happen naturally, and I'm doing it manually. So we in there, we talking about what telling me about pulling the semen or whatever, right? And he telling me how good of a stud one of his boys is, right? And I'm listening, we talking, and my boy say, "Yeah, man." He was like, my boy say, he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "Yeah, he a good stud. He this and he that. He almost ready." And I'm like, "What you mean he almost ready?" He was like, "He'll be ready to breed in this amount of time or such amount of time. He got a good sperm count." And I'm like, how you know if he ain't? And he was like, "Well, I just pull him. I just pull him anyway." That's the part that hit me. You know what I mean? Because I'm in my boy house, and you know I'm here for a reason. I'm paying to be here. Just feeling a little weird. You know what I mean? Feeling a little awkward. I'm like, you say you just pull him. I would think I was looking down at my phone or petting the dog or something. I was like, "You say you just pull him?" And he was like, "Yeah. I go on and get them ready so they'll know what's going on. I pull them without, you know what I mean? I just go on and pull them." So it probably sounded like real professional to him, but in my little stupid immature mind, all I heard was, I just jack them off for no reason. And man, listen, I'm sitting there, and the laugh came up, and in order to suppress the laugh, I had to like cough or sneeze or something, and it was so hard to keep like the second part of the laugh down. Cause like I said, in my mind, I'm like, man, my boy just over here jacking their boys off. I mean, like I said, I know it's immature, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just goofy. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm like, man, my boy just over here jacking these dogs off. Ain't no girls in heat. He just going to town on these boys. I'm like, man, I don't know if I done stepped into the Twilight Zone or something. You know what I'm saying? So that was like, so that was like my second straw, right?
Do not wait until your breedings are ready to do this, because then it's going to be a nightmare, I can guarantee. And the chances of the breeding taking, you decrease them because you've never pulled the dog's never been pulled. We don't know what the semen looks like, all that stuff. So if it's a dog and it's their first time, what I would also recommend is make sure you keep the dog separate from other females that are in heat, because then he may not get as aroused, you know, as well as practice. Like I said, practice is key. Practice is key. Keep pulling the dogs, so then when it's time for them to do what they need to do, they already know, you know. So because there's so many things that can happen. You may pull.
So my last straw was same thing happened to me. Man, I'm going, I need to do a breeding. I got some real nice dogs. This was kind of recent, right? Matter of fact, I'm thinking she's pregnant now. I gotta confirm. But this was with this pregnancy. I'm like, man, I call my boy, I need an AI, I need service. He's like, all right, come on, cool. We get over there, same situation. We doing the breeding, as he collecting, you know what I mean? As he collecting the dog, as he collecting the male dog, I'm holding the female dog in front of my male dog so that he can get excited to give as much as possible, as much as much collection as possible. So I'm holding her in front of him, my boy collecting the semen, and like once, like somewhere around in the middle, he was like, look, I need to go run in the house and do something real quick. Come and grab right here. And again, it automatically turned my attitude from I want to be like, man, god damn, bro. Every time I come over here, you got me grabbing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think the reaction on my face amused him. Cause I'm sure when I seen when he walked away, he had like an amused look on his face. And I ain't appreciate that, man. I ain't appreciate it. And then not only do we have the amused look on his face, but he won't come back until the dog done. He don't go do just what he needed to do, then come back like I got it. You feel me? He let me do the whole thing. And I also think it'd be one of them situations where he'd be like trying to almost force you into um learning how to do this stuff, which makes me ask like, you want me to start calling you, bro? You don't want to do that kind of stuff no more? Cause I don't know if you're just doing me a favor, but I thought this was part of your business. If you really don't like doing this and this is your way of running me off, then consider me ran off. So that was my last straw, man. That was my last straw. I couldn't take it no more. Um, once I got done with that, I went on deal. I said, man, I ain't got. I'm gonna have to take more routes, a different route, because more than one people offer this service. Matter of fact, my boy Big Guap do it. Guap, well, he used to. I don't think he do it no more. And Guap used to. I used to go over there get my AI. I ain't had to touch nobody. You know what I mean? I might have to hold the girl, like I was just saying a second ago, but that's about it. So I'm like, okay, man, I'm just gonna have to find somebody else. I don't think my boy want me coming over there. I don't know why, right? So actually looking to confirm that pregnancy. I'm hoping it went through. It's looking good, but you supposed to knock on wood, right? So that's how that goes. And then, so the moral of the story is, in staying true to my original form, which is mostly wrong, I was wrong again. Um, I'm thinking everything is a joke, and these boys are absolutely right. Cody was right when he was talking about you got to go on and jack your dog off. Neo, I say his name. Neo was right by saying he pulled the dog ahead of time. In my little stupid mind, I'm thinking the man just bored around here jacking dogs off. But if, like I said, if he got male dogs that he needs to produce in the future, it is justifiable to get them prepared beforehand, especially if you're dealing with someone's money. You know what I mean? If somebody want to see that dog and they want to pay to have kids from that dog, then you know what I mean. He needs to be ready.
As well as Practice, like I said, practice is key. Practice is key. Keep pulling the dogs, so then when it's time for them to do what they need to do, they already know.
So I hope you guys found the humor in this. Please like, share, subscribe.
It's easiest to grab him from behind. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab his, his penis, and you're gonna jerk it forward. There's a knot, right? There's a knot right here. You feel that knot? He's already kind of hard. So all you're gonna do is just jerk it back and forth like that. You know what I'm saying? And your hand essentially forms like a what it would normally be. And then he's gonna start going. Oh my God! Grab your other hand and hold the cup now, right? And just keep going. Don't stop. And keep his penis within the cup. I got him for you. Hopefully our viewers can see what's going on. But you're just going to keep going, right? And then once you feel him start to thrust, all you got to do is just hang tight because he's going to go. So, just make sure that his penis doesn't hit the cup too hard.
Fact of the matter is, to be honest, man, I always, I always try to, as the years go by, I don't want to let the years catch up with me into just doing the same thing and being the same way. I always try to have some kind of growth or change as I get older. And like I said, it looks like this gonna have to be one of them because, again, I got 2 dogs pregnant, and I don't think I'll be slowing down with my breeding anytime soon. I'm up to about 6 or 7 generations, so I'm probably gonna stretch this line out, my own line out, for probably at least maybe another 10 years. You know what I mean? So it looks like I'm gonna have to. Like I'll be doing the breedings myself, man. Look like I'll be collecting semen from the boys and inseminating them through the girls. They actually have all that stuff on Amazon. You can purchase it to do your own AIs at home, and I've seen them do it so many times that at this point it's really just a waste of money. And I got enough girl dogs to, experiment and get it right, get it wrong. All I need to do is get it right one time and it's official. You see what I'm saying? So long story short, man, look like I'll be collecting from now on. If you need to breed your dog, that'll be a service that I offer. If you need to breed your dog and you want to make sure it's in there, hit me up and we'll talk about something. But yeah, man, that was one of the ones that every time I decide, I'm like, man, I ain't gonna tell them about that one. It actually turned out to be one of the ones that y'all like the most. So I don't know what y'all, I know y'all hear me. I'm kind of sick, so I ain't been on here, but y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll go live tonight, and I'll see y'all later. Love y'all.
The key is to pull the dogs prior so that they're already ready to go, So what we use that helps also give us nice large sperm counts.